beautiful. This is a new day. This is a new day full of sound, light, and expectation. This day has been waiting for you. This day has been awaiting especially for you, to embrace you, to guide you. This day has been waiting with open arms just for you. This is the day that we have been given. Let's not waste it. Come now and let us worship together. Please join us in singing hymn number 3, "The World Stands Out on Either Side," in the gray hymnal.
The world stands out on either side, no wider than the heart is wide. Above the world is stretched the sky, no higher than the soul is high. The heart can push the sea and land so far away on either hand. The soul can split the sky in two and let the face of God shine through.
We do not require members to follow a creed or set of beliefs about God or the nature of reality. Instead, we are bound together by an agreement to follow the spirit of love in our daily lives, to serve our community, to dwell together in peace, and to seek the truth in love. This church community has discerned the spirit of love to call us toward care for the vulnerable and marginalized, as great prophets have done in the past. We have waved a rainbow flag to signify this place as a sanctuary for any persons who identify as LGBTQIA. We have raised a Black Lives Matter banner to remind ourselves and our community that racism and systems that support racism must transform if we are to become the beloved community. If you come to us with a broken heart, welcome. If you come to us with a searching and restless heart, welcome. If you are a person in search of healing for yourself and our world, welcome. If you feel drawn to this path, or if it describes the path you are already on, we would like to get to know you better. After service on the patio in Channing Hall, please join Jean Pusateri for a brainstorming session about the sustainability of our church. This coming Wednesday at 7 p.m., please join Reverend Joseph here at the church or on Zoom for a study of the Bhagavad. There we go, one of the most important Hindu texts of our time. And now for the chalice lighting.
We light this chalice to illuminate our path as we seek to find a spark that will reignite our own passion for the work that we do and the time that we share in this special place with these special people.
This is my friend Penelope, and we are going to read for you Char Tuasoa, Punky Aloha.
Hi, I'm Punky Aloha.
That's the nickname my grandma gave me. She is my best friend and we do everything together. Grandma calls me her brave adventurer, which I am now, but I wasn't before.
The truth is, I wasn't always brave. Making new friends, now that was hard. Don't believe me? Well, let me tell you about the time I had to go on a very important but scary adventure. It all started with banana bread. Not just any banana bread. I'm talking about Grandma's famous fresh-baked bananas from the backyard, warm from the oven banana bread.
Punky, we're out of butter, Grandma yells from the kitchen. If I know one thing, it's that you can't have Grandma's banana bread without butter melting right on top. Chemo's Market just so happens to make the best butter on the island.
I need you to pick up the butter today. I can't come this time, but you got this. You mean you want me to go alone? I cried. But if I go alone to the market, I'm sure to bump into someone new. And whenever I bump into someone, I start to feel shy. Take these, Grandma says. They're my magical brave glasses for brave adventurers like you.
Brave glasses? There's no such thing. How do they work? I ask. Just put these on anytime you feel nervous or shy, and they will help you feel brave. Are you sure? Of course I'm sure. I use them all the time. And Punky, do you remember how we share our aloha? Be helpful, be giving, be brave. This is how we share our aloha, I recite. Well, all right, Grandma smiles. I know I gotta go. The banana bread depends on it, on me. But as soon as I step outside the gate, I hear it, a loud oink, oink, oink.
A little help, please? I've got all these mangoes I need to take back to my family, the pig cries. Oink, oink. I can feel the glasses working. I get enough courage to remember. Helpful, giving, brave. Share your aloha, Punky. We can put the mangoes on my skateboard if you want, I said.
What you did was very helpful. Thank you so much, the mommy pig says as she nods to her piglets. One of them trots up to me and gives me a flower lei. I have a funny warm feeling inside. I kind of like it. I thank them, grab my skateboard, and head for the market again. Then I hear bzzz.
Bzz, bzz, bzz. Why are you so sad, I ask. I'm not good at being a bee. I didn't collect any pollen for the hive. I'm too embarrassed to go back empty-handed, the bee buzzes. I adjust my glasses and smile. Be helpful, be giving, be brave. Here, use my lei. It has plenty of pollen. Really? Thanks. Wait here, the bee says. I don't have much to give you, but this honey is fresh straight from the hive. Fresh, gooey honey, my favorite.
I start to feel like making new friends doesn't have to be scary. In fact, it could be downright yummy. Maybe Grandma's brave glasses really are magic. When suddenly,
Crash! Oh no, my glasses. Ouch, my knee.
it looks like he needs my help. The glasses are gone, but I can still use my aloha. How's this? My grandma rubs honey on my scrapes to keep them clean, I say, and sometimes there's even extra. Yum. Wow, that does really help, thank you. Punky, I'm Punky Aloha. I'm Kay, and I'm sorry about your glasses. That's okay, I don't think I need them anymore. Well, just in case, my dad might have some tape at his store. He owns the corner market. Wait, your dad is chemo? Yeah, why? I giggle as we both jump on our skateboards and head to the market.
Dad, this is my new friend. Punky, Chemo says. Aloha. It was kind of you to help, Kay. That must have taken a lot of bravery. Look here, I have some fresh butter for your grandma. I know how much she loves this stuff. After I wave goodbye to my friends, I race home with the butter in my bag and my heart full of courage.
I went on a really big adventure. Grandma, I made new friends by being brave and helpful just like you told me. See, I'm so proud of you, my brave Punky Aloha. Now, I don't know everything, but I do know this. That day I became a brave adventurer.
And it all started with fresh baked banana bread.
Now we all want some banana bread with butter. So now it's time for all the kids to go to class. And so if you will follow Penelope as she walks down the aisle there, we will all go to class.
Please join me in saying our church's covenant. Love is the spirit of this church, and service its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. Our church is completely supported by pledge income from members and friends like you. If you wish to make an offering to us, please designate on your check or envelope it is for UUYO. Each month, we donate all the loose cash and unmarked checks put in the offering plate to nonprofit organization whose mission and actions are consistent with the UU principles and the mission of UUYO. The organization for October is YSU LGBTQ+ Emergency Fund. Youngstown State University students who identify as LGBTQ+ now have additional funding options for emergencies like housing, food insecurity, and medical expenses. The goals of the LGBTQ+ Emergency Fund are to address the equity gap for YSU LGBTQ+ students, make funding resources easier, and to foster an inclusive environment for YSU LGBTQ+ students free from discrimination. We will now receive the offering that supports the life of Youngstown, the Mahoning Valley, and our wider world. Please join us for a time of silence.
I pulled a suitcase along the dirt road. It's hot. I'm sweating. Am I anxious? Burdened? Yes. But mostly, I'm proud of myself because I'm here to see my sister. The guard at the gate was brusque and cold. He had no clue what a big step it was for me to be here. I visited my sister for many years, but this time was different. I had traveled a long way to get here. I'm Sharon Stringer, and I'm here to see my sister Peggy. He wrote something down and pointed me in the direction of a brick building on the other side of the iron gates. 30 years ago, when sorrow bathed the air I breathed, I did not speak of my deep fears and concerns, my worry about other people's judgments, always inside me. I felt labeled and defined by my family struggles and was frightened of developing the same illness my brother John and fraternal twin sister Peggy were living through. 2 out of 3, a roll of the dice. Genetics, personality, stress, environment. Here we are, intermingled in a family, but we are each unique. I did not find a magic formula for reducing stigma and developing resilience. My own striving to grow flourished because of compassion. Compassion, the opposite of stigma. The layers of shame, avoidance, fear, self-doubt, and isolation peeled away. But change is hard and takes time, and I needed the patience and nourishment of others. I saw more beauty and multiple colors inside me and others, not just the fragility and pain of life. Peggy, the artist and protective sister, who helped me to laugh at my own fears. John, with his remarkable memory and encyclopedic knowledge of coins and weather. The powerful discovery was that my siblings helped me to see myself and others with humanity. By finding our way through sorrow, fear, love, and loyalty together, my siblings helped me connect to a deeper courage and passion, not just in others, but in myself as well. I'm no longer afraid of the stigma, no longer afraid of schizophrenia. I am not alone. Peggy and John are inside me. Their courage, kindness by others, and second chances ignite hope and change.
Before I begin, let's take a minute and just look around right now. Here we are, gathered to celebrate the power of connection and courage. We truly are social beings, and honestly, our only real purpose in life is to help one another. That is exactly what we're doing today, and nothing feels better than that. My message today focuses on the transformation from surviving to resilience and courage. To explain this process, I use the metaphor of the butterfly's metamorphosis. My friend Susan raises monarch butterflies in tents on her porch. She'll watch the caterpillar become a butterfly and then release them so they migrate to a particular area of Mexico. No formal training is required for generation after generation of butterflies. Poet Maya Angelou shares an important insight about this remarkable process when she wrote, quote, We delight in the beauty of the butterfly, but rarely admit the change it has gone through to achieve that beauty, end quote. Her astute observation is that we don't know what people experience by looking at surface appearances. Instead, we can open our eyes, listen carefully to others' stories, appreciate their unique strengths, and connect people's struggles and successes to our own lives. How I wish I could tell you that we are primed, like the monarch, to migrate to health and safety. However, resilience and courage fluctuate and don't occur automatically. Some transformations may be quiet and invisible to others. You and I may look the same on the outside for years, but inside we can undergo dramatic change. This internal shift, even in tiny steps, is where hope and change ignite. I will highlight what science tells us about resilience and positive transformation. But first, I share a bit of my own journey. One of my major struggles was to help my own family cope with two siblings who experienced serious mental illness. Both my older brother, John, and my fraternal twin sister, Peggy, developed symptoms of schizophrenia in middle to late adolescence. The illness had a powerfully disabling effect on my sister in young adulthood and beyond. In contrast, John was able to enjoy his life most of the time. John and Peggy resided in different state psychiatric hospitals, group homes, and supervised residences throughout adolescence and adulthood. Through the experience of my siblings' mental illness, I suffered the shame of stigma. I felt labeled and defined by my family's struggles and was frightened of developing the same illness as my brother and sister. I did not find a magic formula for reducing stigma and developing courage. I faced three significant challenges. First, becoming less fearful of other people's judgments. Second, reducing secrecy and shame. And third, establishing my own separate identity while caring for people I love deeply. My own striving to grow flourished because of compassion. Compassion, the opposite of stigma, peeled away layers of shame, self-doubt, and isolation. I gained freedom, so a more powerful and authentic sense of self emerged. Like the monarch butterfly, I needed patience and nourishment of others because change is hard and did not occur overnight. But the metamorphosis was dramatic over time. I saw more beauty and multiple colors inside me and others, not just the fragility and pain of life. The powerful discovery was that my siblings helped me to see myself and others with humanity. By finding our way through sorrow, fear, love, and loyalty together, my siblings helped me connect to a deeper courage and passion, not just in others, but in myself as well. My brother and sister prompted my own professional journey in psychology to learn about stigma and resilience. When I moved to Youngstown in 1987, I did not speak of my deep fear of others' judgments. However, people here and the surrounding areas welcomed me. They too faced significant challenges, such as the closing of the steel mills and subsequent social and economic upheavals, poverty, the housing crisis, violence, health issues, and the pandemic. This community's resilience, as demonstrated by its work ethic, dedication to family, commitment to social justice, and service to others, provided the seeds of courage and compassion that opened liberating paths for myself and significantly altered my relationships with my siblings and many others. This slow transformation was a significant break from a family legacy of suffering in silence and secrecy. However, for a while, I was between the caterpillar and butterfly, emerging just enough to see a positive path forward to a destination of strength. Psychologists and counselors find that resilience, the skill to rebound from hardship, can be learned on different pathways without requiring natural talent or luck. Bouncing back rather than avoiding situations is needed for all living things at every phase of life. Resilience is what we need to thrive and grow. Experts in human behavior document the value of being realistic about what is occurring, and that we benefit by learning how our brain and body react to rewire our automatic responses. Unfortunately, we live in a culture that encourages us to suppress our emotions. And in the short term, this might be all we can do. However, scientists who study trauma show that healing requires realistic appraisals of our life, not false narratives. That includes monitoring our bodies, actions, thoughts, and feelings. And this is balanced with reaching out to others and not dwelling on the negative. Psychologists and counselors guide us to relish the positive. In my own research, we find self-compassion may help reduce stigma and build resilience. How does anybody tackle barriers to freedom? And there's not one answer, of course, but I believe 3 skills illuminated my path and inspired significant growth in myself and others. First, listening to other people's stories opened my eyes to many individual struggles and nourished compassion. Compassion, the opposite of stigma, invigorates and reawakens health. Yes, it is definitely including risks. However, opening ourselves up so we can understand someone else's world is humbling and liberating. My fear of what other people think receded as I listened to people. For me, compassion for others came first, and it was easier to achieve than self-compassion. But compassion for others provided an inside track to self-compassion. As compassionate listeners, we become what trauma specialists call an expert companion. This person who empowers us by listening carefully and asking questions enables us to see the big picture. Such companions skillfully refrain from offering advice if it unintentionally undermines someone's self-confidence. Instead, empathic listeners enable the person who is struggling to advise themselves just as they would a best friend. The second skill I learned, to see myself and others from different perspectives. Rather than blame myself or judge someone, I attempt to collaborate with others to understand the bigger picture and social context. We can combine this reappraisal and contextualizing with what psychologists call a growth mindset. This belief that we have the power and skill to change in positive ways is empowering, particularly if there is resistance in a family, institution, or culture. Fortunately, you and I have control over our own actions and beliefs. Social psychologists and clinicians emphasize that knowing we are continuing to evolve enables us to become aware of our limitations and be less fearful of making mistakes. We can aspire to grow and reach our full potential in community with others. Striving to be our best with others who accompany us on this journey illustrates what positive psychologists define as authentic self-actualization, and thriving. I add our two granddaughters' definition of thriving: take care of yourself and other people to sparkle. Social psychologists note that surrounding ourselves with people who motivate and inspire us is invaluable for creating change. The third skill, sharing our story with trustworthy people, creates hopeful change. I gained further meaning and purpose in life by telling my story to people I trust and admire. This helped to sharpen my identity and balance self-care with caring for others. Honor who you are, where you came from, and what you wish to become. My friend Libby said to me years ago, "Sharon, I think you will be surprised by how understanding people are. You are not alone." And she is correct. Entrepreneurs who have created and host innovative storytelling, radio, and podcast programs emphasize that revealing our story enables us to discover our power and fulfill dreams. In conclusion, I offer 3 seeds for developing resilience and courage. First, discover and listen carefully to other people without judging. Second, believe in the power of one's own whole story to blossom. Third, compassion, the opposite of stigma, is one of many ways to cultivate resilience. We get discouraged by the difficult and complex problems we face. My journey did not go from shame to resilience immediately. The work is never done. I still struggle. We can only tackle a few things, maybe only one at a time in our metamorphosis. Knowing fear inside us and viewing the big picture on what it feels like to be an outsider is not a liability. Instead, it is an asset because it potentially becomes a source of courage, growth, and compassion. One of my favorite writers, Anne Lamott, states, quote, "All writers are writing into the same sea," end quote. We are in this big project on courage together. In his recent book, Inspired, Matt Richtel, a New York Times Pulitzer Prize reporter, notes that many of us experience what he calls judgment trauma. It starts at a young age and can erode courage and creativity. However, Richtel also explains that creative people share 3 assets. First, they develop gratitude so that the ordinary becomes extraordinary. Second, their own humility means I can't judge another person until I listen, really listen carefully to what that person is saying. Third, highly creative people understand the value of silencing that harsh inner critic. So this month, while we devote ourselves to courage, our most important call to action is to share our stories. Write, speak, paint, drum, sing, walk, march, or dance. Our narratives are powerful tools for building courage and connection.
A prayer by Judy Harrow. Ancient Mother, please stand with me here and now. I call upon your courage, your hard-won wisdom. You who have faced hard choices and survived, you who have stood with others many times where paths diverged. Now is my hour of need. To live is to choose is to risk. Each door I open closes other doors. Yes, every yes costs many no's. Stay with me, Ancient Mother. Walk with me into the unknown future I have chosen. So be it. Please join us in singing hymn 6, Just as Long as I Have Breath, in the gray hymnal.
Just as long as I have breath, I must answer yes to life. Though with pain I made my way, still with hope I meet each day. If they ask what I did well, tell them I said yes to life. Just as long as vision lasts, I must answer yes to truth. In my dream and in my dark, always that elusive spark. If they ask what I did well, tell them I said yes to truth. Just as long as my heart beats, I must answer yes to love. Disappointment pierced me through, still I kept on loving you. If they ask what I did best, tell them I said yes to love.
I love that hymn. We extinguish this chalice, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we keep in our hearts until we meet again. As you depart, please remember the one great fact: you are loved and never truly alone.